Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that, well, let's be honest, might not have been your favorite in school, algebra. But I want you to forget all about those complicated textbooks for a minute, because we're going to look at algebra for what it really is, a practical, everyday superpower for solving puzzles. You ready to unlock it?
All right, to kick things off, let's start with a little mystery. And I promise you, this is something you've run into before, probably more times than you can count. I mean, think about it. How often do you find yourself trying to figure out some missing number? Maybe it's when you're balancing your budget, planning your time, or even just trying to figure out a recipe. It happens all the time.
Okay, here's a super classic example. You had $100 in your wallet, you went out, you bought something, and now you've only got 35 left. Your brain just instinctively knows there's a missing piece here, right? That some amount you spent. The big question is, how do we find that missing piece in a way that works every single time?
Well, that's where algebra comes in. And I want you to try and think of it less like math and more like a secret language, or maybe a detective's special tool that's designed specifically to hunt down these unknown values. So here's the formal definition, but what it really means is this. Algebra is just a system for dealing with problems that have missing information. It lets us take the things we do know, the numbers, and mix them with the things we don't know, which we just represent with a letter or a symbol.
And this quote, it absolutely hits the nail on the head. Just like we use words to explain our thoughts, we use algebra to describe and solve problems. It's the universal language for finding the unknown, and that's what makes it so incredibly powerful.
Now you might be thinking, a whole new language? That sounds complicated. But here's the really cool part. This powerful language is built from just a few super simple ideas. So let's open up the toolkit and take a look at the essential building blocks.
The first, and honestly the most important tool in the box, is the variable. It's almost always a letter, like X or Y, and its entire job is to just be a placeholder. It's the sum in our you spent some money problem. It's the mystery we're trying to solve.
So from now on, whenever you see the letter X in a math problem, don't panic. Seriously, just think of it as a question mark, a blank space for the value we're hunting down. It's the star of our show, the target of our investigation.
Okay, next tool in the kit, the expression. The best way to think about an expression is as a mathematical phrase. It's a little set of instructions like take that mystery number and add 7 to it, or multiply our unknown number by 3. But notice something really important. It doesn't actually give you an answer. It's not a full sentence, just a phrase.
So, what happens when you take two of those phrases, those expressions, and you stick an equal sign between them? Well, then you get an equation. An equation is a complete mathematical sentence. It makes a full claim. It says, hey, the stuff on this side is worth the exact same amount as the stuff on that side. It's like a perfectly balanced scale.
And this slide right here makes the difference crystal clear. Look on the left, x plus 7. It's just a phrase, an idea. It's floating out there. But on the right, x plus 7 equals 10. Now that's a full statement. That's a puzzle we can actually solve. That little equal sign is the game changer. It turns a phrase into a mission.
Okay, so our tool belt is on. We've got our variables, expressions, and equations. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's actually put them to work and solve a puzzle.
But before we do, there is one single golden rule you have to burn into your memory. An equation is a balanced scale, remember? So whatever you do to one side, you absolutely must do the exact same thing to the other side to keep it balanced. This is the key to everything.
So let's try it right here. Our equation is x plus 3 equals 12. What's our goal? It's to get x all by itself on one side. So to get rid of that plus 3, we just do the opposite. We subtract 3. But the golden rule says we have to do it to both sides to keep things fair. So we take 3 from the left, we take 3 from the right, and we're left with our answer. X is 9. Simple as that.
Okay, time to come full circle. Let's go all the way back to that money mystery from the beginning. We started with $100, we spent some unknown amount X, and we were left with 35. Written in our new secret language of algebra, it looks just like this. And now we have an equation that we can actually solve.
So, when we apply that same golden rule of keeping the scale balanced, we can work through the steps to get x all by itself and find our missing number. And the answer is $65. Just like that, algebra gives us the exact concrete answer. No more guesswork.
Now, solving one little money problem is cool and all, but this is where it gets really amazing. The true power of algebra is just how incredibly far-reaching it is. This is not just for simple puzzles.
I want you to think of algebra as a master key. It doesn't just open one door. It unlocks countless doors. It's the fundamental language of science, it's the bedrock of engineering, and it's the tool we use for everything from finance to predicting the future.
For instance, you want to calculate speed? Easy. If a car is going 60 miles an hour and it travels 240 miles, 60x equals 240. You can quickly figure out that x, the number of hours, must have been 4.
Or hey, how about running a business? If concert tickets are $50 each and you made $150, algebra tells you instantly that x, the number of people who bought tickets, has to be 3.
You see the pattern here, right? The exact same logic we use to figure out how much money we spent is the same fundamental logic used in rocket science. Seriously, engineers write equations to model thrust, mass, and gravity. By solving for the unknown, like how much fuel they need, they can literally send missions to other planets. It is the tool you use to find the unknown, no matter how simple or complex.
So, you've just been handed the keys to a powerful new language, a systematic way to find answers where there were only questions before. And I'll leave you with this to think about. Now that you know the language, what mysteries in your world will you solve?